Compton effect. Question will come like this. Discuss Compton effect and show how Compton effect is useful to confirm the photon model. That is how quantum theory of light can be proved by Compton effect. According to quantum theory of light, photons behave like particles except for the lack of rest mass. The rest mass of photon is equal to 0, but photon behave like also particle. We can prove how photon behave like a particle, but it have dual characteristics. It can behave as a particle as well as wave. Imagine the collision between photon and an electron as if they were billiard balls. Collision is billiard ball types. Suppose this is your incident photon. Energy of incident photon equal to h nu. Nu is the frequency, h is the Planck's constant. The momentum of photon is equal to h nu by c. And this is the electron which is at rest. Suppose the electron is at rest. So momentum of electron is equal to 0, and energy of the electron is equal to m0 c square. Since electron have rest mass, so its energy is equal to m0 c square. And when photon strikes this electron at rest, it will scatter. The photon will scatter, and the energy of the scattered photon equal to h nu dash, and momentum of the scattered photon h nu dash divided by c, and the electron will be also scattered. The momentum of the electron p is equal to p, and the energy of the electron is equal to m0 square c4 plus p square c square square root. We will derive how the energy of the electron after scattering will be this one. We will derive this equation. And here we will show the change in frequency or the change in wavelength. You see, initially the frequency of the incident photon is nu or wavelength is lambda, and the scattered photon have frequency nu dash or wavelength lambda dash. So there is change in wavelength, lambda minus lambda dash or lambda dash minus lambda. There is change in wavelength, but the collision is, you see, it is the collision between two matters, that is particles. Collision between two particles, but here there is change in wavelength. So this proves the quantum nature of light or the photon model. Now we will find out, or we will derive this equation, that is the change in wavelength lambda dash minus lambda is equal to h divided by m0 c into 1 minus cos phi, and this factor h by m0 c, this is called the Compton wavelength. This is called the Compton wavelength. So we will derive this equation. I have told you that photon strikes the electron. Suppose the photon is a X-ray. So the X-ray strikes the electron which is assumed to be initially at rest in the laboratory coordinate system. So during collision, what happens? The photon loses some energy which is gained by the electron as kinetic energy. That means the loss in photon energy is equal to gain in the kinetic energy of the electron. What will be the loss in photon energy? Photon energy equal to h nu. So loss in photon energy is equal to h nu minus h nu dash, that is equal to the kinetic energy of the electron. Again, we have also the momentum, conservation of momentum. Since the collision is elastic collision, here we will calculate the initial momentum and the final momentum, because in elastic collision the momentum is conserved, and we have considered the collision to be billiard ball type, so they are elastic collision. So we will consider the or apply the conservation laws in both the axes, along the x axis as well as along the y axis. we are considering it in plane for simplicity. So initial momentum of the photon is equal to h nu by c, and what is the initial momentum of the electron? It is equal to 0. So what will be the total initial momentum? H nu divided by c plus 0. And what will be the final momentum? Final momentum of the photon will be equal to, you see, momentum of the photon is h nu prime by c. So along this axis, x axis, it will be a cos factor. So this will be equal to h nu prime by c cos phi. Similarly, for the electron along this axis or x axis, you may refer to this figure. Along x axis, it will be equal to how much? It will be equal to p cos theta. Okay. For electron, it will be equal to p cos theta, and for photon along x axis, that will be equal to h nu dash by c into cos phi. So initial momentum, that is equal to h nu by c plus 0. For this is along x axis. For the x axis we are considering, and for final momentum it is equal to h nu dash divided by c cos phi. This is for the photon, and for electron it is equal to p cos theta. Since initial momentum is equal to final momentum, so h nu by c is equal to h nu dash by c cos phi plus p cos theta. It is equation number 2. Along the y-axis or the perpendicular to this direction, similarly you will find out initial momentum is equal to final momentum. Since electron have no component along the y-axis or the perpendicular direction, so initial momentum is equal to 0 for the electron, and for the electron as well as for the photon. And the final momentum for the photon, it will be equal to h nu dash by c into sin phi, and for the electron, since it will be in the negative y-axis, it is equal to minus p sin theta. So this is equation number 3. So if we multiply c to equation number 2 and 3, you see, you multiply c here. So this will be equal to, this factor will be equal to pc cos theta. I have taken pc cos theta this side to the left side, and this factor I have taken this to the right hand side. So this will be equal to h nu. I have taken this one to this side and this one to the right hand side, and I have simplified it. And if you multiply c here, this will be equal to h nu dash cos phi. Similarly, if you multiply c to this equation, then what will be the result? Pc sin theta. This one will be equal to h nu dash sin phi. Now you square these two equations and add. Squaring and adding, what you will get? This will be equal to p square c square sin square theta plus p square c square cos square theta. And if you take p square c square common, this will be equal to sin square theta plus cos square theta 1. So only you have p square c square, that will be equal to, if you square this one, then this will be equal to h nu square plus h nu prime square into cos square phi, and then again minus 2h nu into h nu prime and cos phi, and this will be equal to h nu prime square sin square theta. So if you take common h square h nu prime square, then in the bracket you have sin square phi plus cos square phi. So this will be equal to 1. So suppose this is equation number 4. And total energy of the electron, because in elastic collision both kinetic energy and momentum are conserved, both energy and momentum they are conserved. So here we will take the total energy, that is the kinetic energy. Total energy of the electron E is equal to kinetic energy of the electron plus kinetic energy of potential energy of the electron. What will be the kinetic energy of the electron? Suppose it is Ke, and what will be the potential energy of the electron? That is equal to m0 c square. Suppose this is equation number 5. And I have told you using the relativistic formula, the total energy of a massless particle can be calculated. then if you calculate it, it will be equal to E, that is equal to m0 square C4 plus P square C square. Suppose this is equation number 6. How you calculate it? You can calculate like this: total energy is equal to m0 c square divided by 1 minus b square by c square square root, because mass m is equal, relativistic mass m is equal to m0 divided by 1 minus b square by c square square root, and using the formula E is equal to mc square, you can get this equation. Then what is the relativistic momentum? Momentum P equal to mv, and m for relativistic mass, m will be equal to m0 minus m0 divided by 1 minus b square by c square square root into v. Okay, only you use the mass, that is the relativistic mass. So what will be E square? From this equation, what will be E square? E square will be equal to m0 square C4 divided by 1 minus v square by c square. Similarly, what will be P square? P square will be equal to m0 square v square divided by 1 minus v square by c square. So what will be P square C square? You multiply, you take c square to this numerator, or you multiply c square, then what will be the result? m0 square v square c square divided by 1 minus v square by c square. You now take the difference, e square minus p square c square. If you take the difference, in the denominator you have 1 minus v square by c square, in the numerator you have m0 square c4 minus m0 square v square c square. And if you take common m0 square c4, in the bracket you have 1 minus v square by c square, so they will cancel. So it will be equal to m0 square c4. So what will be E square? You take p square c square to this side, so it will be equal to m0 square c4 plus p square c square. So E will be equal to m0 square c4 plus p square c square square root. So this is the relativistic formula for the total energy of a massless particle. So here I have taken the total energy for a massless particle like photon, that is equal to m0 square c4 plus p square c square square root in equation 6. So from equation 5 and 6 you will get m0 square c4 plus p square c square. If you take E this side and take the square, then what will happen? Ke kinetic energy plus m0 c square whole square will be equal to m0 square c4 plus p square c square. So I have written here Ke plus m0 c square whole square, that is equal to m0 square c4 plus p square c square. So you simplify it, you take what will be p square c square? This will be equal to kinetic energy square. If you take the whole square, kinetic energy plus m0 c square whole square, then this will be equal to 2 m0 c square Ke. Suppose this is equation number 7. And if you put the value of kinetic energy from equation 1, what you will get? You see, in equation 1 you have the change in kinetic energy of the photon, that is h nu minus h nu dash, that is equal to Ke. So you substitute this value in equation 7. So you will get p square c square is equal to h nu minus h nu prime or nu dash whole square plus 2 m0 c square h nu minus h nu dash. Suppose this is equation number 8. From equation 4 and 8, what is in equation 4? You see, in equation 4 you have the value of p square c square, that is h nu square plus h nu dash or h nu prime square minus 2 h nu dash cos phi. So from equation 4 and 8, if you solve it, h nu square plus h nu prime square minus 2 h nu prime cos phi, that is equal to, if you expand this equation, h nu square plus h nu prime square minus 2 h nu h prime plus 2 m0 c square h nu minus h nu prime, and here h nu square they will cancel, h nu prime square also cancels, and if you solve it, then 2 m0 c square h nu minus h nu dash will be equal to 2 h nu prime into 1 minus cos phi. Suppose this is equation number 9. and you convert this frequency in terms of wavelength. So dividing equation 9 by 2h square c square, if you divide both the left hand side and right hand side, the equation will be equal to m0 c divided by h, nu divided by c minus nu prime by c, that is equal to nu by c, nu prime by c, 1 minus cos phi. Since nu by c equal to 1 by lambda, so this will be 1 by lambda minus 1 by lambda prime, and this will be 1 by lambda, this will be equal to 1 by lambda prime. So the equation will be m0c by h into 1 by lambda minus 1 by lambda prime, that is equal to 1 minus cos phi divided by lambda prime. And if you take the difference of this, in the denominator you have lambda prime, in the numerator you have lambda prime minus lambda. So lambda prime they will cancel. So what will be lambda prime minus lambda? Lambda prime minus lambda will be equal to, you take this one to this right hand side, h by m0c into 1 minus cos phi. So lambda prime minus lambda, that is equal to h by m0c into 1 minus cos phi. So this is your Compton's equation, which is derived by author H. Compton in the early 1920. And this equation 10 gives the change in wavelength as expected for the photon that is scattered through an angle phi by a particle which is at rest, or the rest mass of the particle m0, and this change is independent of the change in wavelength is independent of the wavelength lambda of the incident photon. And this factor h by m0c, this is called your Compton wavelength or lambda c. That means lambda c or Compton wavelength is equal to h divided by m0c. And for electron, the Compton wavelength is equal to 2.426 into 10 to the minus 12 meter. So what will be the change in wavelength? Lambda prime minus lambda, that is equal to hc into 1 minus cos phi. If in the experiment we take phi equal to 180 degree, so lambda prime minus lambda will be equal to 2 into Compton wavelength. You practice some problem on Compton effect so that you will be very familiar to this equation. Thank you.